A new beginning for the Whitewater investigation as the new special prosecutor vows to be even-handed. And new sniper fire sets back hopes for peace in Sarajevo. This is the CBS Evening News. And this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. Kenneth Starr, the new Whitewater special prosecutor, promised today a fair, objective, and even-handed investigation into Whitewater and whether White House aides tried to interfere with federal investigators who were probing the affair. A three-judge federal panel stunned Washington yesterday when it named Starr, a former member of the Bush administration, to head up the probe, replacing the current counsel Robert Fisk. The announcement came just as two congressional committees were winding up their own marathon investigation into the affair. And today, from Capitol Hill to the White House, people were still trying to figure out what it all meant. The White House promised cooperation with the new investigation, and the president was all smiles when he arrived in Detroit today, but he wasn't talking about it. Despite the stiff upper lips in public, the president's staffers were described as taking the news very hard and worried now the investigation will become an inquisition that never ends. And back in Washington, a senior Democrat on the Judiciary Committee said he is puzzled and concerned.
And for the court to go and take somebody who had been in a partisan position in the administration that was defeated by the Clinton administration to now step in and investigate the Clinton administration does not appear to be above the kind of partisan reproach.
During the Whitewater congressional hearings this week, Republicans complained repeatedly that Fisk hadn't been aggressive enough in his investigation. So a Georgetown law professor said today, change was probably inevitable.
We should have seen it on the horizon when the Republicans in the Whitewater hearings began to raise a drumbeat criticizing the thoroughness and independence of Mr. Fisk's investigation.
Starr, a legal scholar, former federal judge, and Solicitor General in the Bush administration, is highly regarded in legal circles. But the selection surprised some since Starr, in a series of high-profile interviews, recently involved himself in the legal argument over whether Paula Jones had a right to file a sexual harassment suit against the president. Starr argued she did.
Immunity goes with the office and official acts within the office. It does not extend to an individual by virtue of his or her position.
Joining us now from our Washington bureau is Senator William Cohen, a Republican from Maine and a member of the Judiciary Committee. Senator, thank you. Perhaps we should say in the beginning that this whole Paula Jones lawsuit does not have anything to do with the special counsel. That's a whole separate matter. But I guess a lot of people are wondering, after Mr. Starr involved himself in that case, can he really be fair? And did that show some bias toward this current administration, do you think?
Well, I don't think it showed any bias. I think that Mr. Starr was expressing an opinion as a private attorney and advocate and a constitutional scholar. I think that basically is his personal opinion about whether or not the president has immunity from that type of suit while he's sitting in office. So I don't think it'll have any carryover effect. Secondly, I would point out that according to the Washington Post, Mr. Starr was on the short list of those who were considered by Janet Reno, the Attorney General, for consideration to be appointed special counsel in the first instance. Third point would be that the head of the ACLU in the Washington office indicated that if he were going to be investigated by an independent counsel, he'd want Mr. Starr to conduct that investigation. So I think a final point would be, if you really are concerned about it, I think Mr. Starr will bend over backwards to be fair and impartial. So I think all of those factors involved would bode well for a fair, impartial consideration of the case.
Well, why do you think, Senator, that the three-judge federal panel decided to appoint Mr. Starr and did not take the recommendation of Attorney General Reno, who had recommended they just appoint Mr. Fisk to go ahead and finish out this investigation?
Well, according to the court, they wanted to maintain the total independence of the court-appointed independent counsel as opposed to someone appointed by the Attorney General. I frankly was surprised by it because Senator Levin and I had really tried to amend the statute to allow the court the option, the flexibility to appoint Mr. Fisk so there would be a continuity of investigation. They decided that they would rather insist upon independence, or the appearance of independence, rather than appoint Mr. Fisk. So I was as surprised as anyone.
Very quickly, some of the Republicans on the Banking Committee are now saying that the new counsel should just go back to the beginning and start this investigation from the very beginning, because they're convinced that some of the White House aides that came before that committee were not truthful. Do you think that the new counsel should just start over here, or just pick up where Mr. Fisk had left off?
I think that the new council will want to review the investigation conducted by Mr. Fisk and his staff and satisfy himself that a thorough job was done, and he'll have to make that determination. I don't think anyone can insist one way or the other. I think he has to make that determination to make sure he satisfies himself so he can satisfy the country when he finally files his report upon the completion of the investigation.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Cohen. Thank you. Overseas tonight, Bosnian Serbs facing a repeat of yesterday's NATO airstrike have returned heavy weapons that they seized from a UN depot. But sniper fire aimed at downtown Sarajevo picked up today, and Cindy Kennard has more on that.
The snipers are at it again in Sarajevo. Immediately after Friday's NATO airstrike, gunfire cut down more innocent people, forcing the shutdown of the city's tram system. Still, the UN commander was declaring Friday's raid a success.
But we've gone back to a normal peacekeeping mission today. We have convoys running through Bosnian Serb held territory. I think the airport we're going to run flights in and out of today.
Under threat of more air attacks, Bosnian Serbs returned all 5 heavy weapons they had seized from a UN depot, the seizure that provoked yesterday's air attack. For the U.S., though, surrendering weapons is hardly a peace offering.
That's not nearly enough in my judgment. There are an awful lot of violations that are ongoing, and we need to find a way very quickly to bring those violations to an end.
And that's what the Bosnian government says, too, charging the Serbs continue to move weapons into the exclusion zone.
The Serbs established 148 new positions in the area around Sarajevo.
The commander of the UN forces is not ruling out airstrikes in the future. As for today, UN anti-sniper units conducted house-to-house searches, trying to flush out the gunmen who are intensifying a battle that still seems so far from peace. Cindy Kennard, CBS News, London.
And still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, Fidel Castro threatens to unleash a new flood of refugees to the United States. And a sure sign of summer, the circus is coming.
They say you're as young as you feel. Well, I feel fabulous with my dentures. Thanks to brushing with Denture Cream, they're fresh and sparkling clean. So I feel young enough for another look.
Look good, feel good. Minty Clean Denture Cream.
Timely news for asthma sufferers. You should know Primatene Mist starts to open clogged breathing passages in as fast as 15 seconds. So for asthma relief that starts in as fast as 15 seconds, trust Primatene Mist.
During my last physical, I happened to mention that the Tylenol I took for my tough headaches wasn't always getting rid of all the pain. My doctor recommended Advil instead. He told me that for tough headaches, 2 Advil worked better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets. Better than extra-strength Tylenol caplets. Better than Tylenol gel caps. Now for my tough headaches, I take what my doctor recommends by name. Advil. It just works better. Advil. Advanced medicine for pain.
Here's a Snap, Crackle, Pop quiz. What do you think this serving of Kellogg's Rice Krispie cereal costs? Including the milk.
75 cents.
$1. Nope, just 35 cents.
Wow.
Okay, let's hear it for Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
35 cents!
Is that music to your ears or what?
Shh, making too much noise.
35 cents is a good deal.
Yeah, and just part of the value in having breakfast with Kellogg's.
Learn something new every day. Snackle, cracker, and packle.
We could call it that, yeah.
Havana is quiet again after the first anti-government protests in years. The protest yesterday brought an angry threat from Fidel Castro, directed at the United States. Linda Tyra reports.
Cuban authorities quickly restored calm in the capital of Havana. Fidel Castro, after touring the riot area and blaming the United States for stirring the unrest, threatened to open the floodgates to let tens of thousands of Cubans flee to the U.S.
This is a very significant development. The pressures have been building up in Cuba, particularly during the last year, because of the economic, financial crisis in the country.
In recent days, desperate Cubans hoping to reach Florida have hijacked 3 ferry boats. But the U.S. is trying to discourage an exodus. The State Department has warned we will not permit Fidel Castro to dictate our immigration policy or to create a replay of the Mariel boat lift. In 1980, 125,000 Cubans entered the U.S. during a 6-month period. Washington has been drawing up a contingency plan ever since to cope with another influx of refugees.
And to Fidel Castro, the message is don't try to use the let them go to the United States card again as a means of dealing with your own internal problems.
While the Clinton administration is preparing to deal with a possible mass immigration of Cubans, it's the last thing the White House needs when it is already refusing entry to thousands of other refugees from Haiti. Linda Tyrus, CBS News, the White House.
And in that same part of the world, Haiti's military ruler, General Raul Cedras, said today he now believes a U.S.-led invasion of Haiti is inevitable. In Port-au-Prince, paramilitary gunmen and hundreds of so-called volunteers paraded through the streets, vowing to help the military regime fight off any outside intervention. In Rwanda, the UN today distributed food and water and other supplies along the main road from Zaire. The goal there is to encourage more refugees to come home from camps in Zaire, where most refugees seem now content to stay. Barry Peterson has our report.
A food fight, more from frustration than from anger. Most villagers kept order, food valued all the more since yesterday there was none at this camp. UN officials skittish after trouble between Rwandan refugees and Zairean soldiers claimed 3 lives in recent days. Village leader Vincent Twiziamana is here to make sure his people get fed. Things are okay, he says. He is a college graduate who now lives in a hut, far from the 3-bedroom house he left behind in Rwanda. When will he tell his people to go back? We'll stay here until our security is guaranteed, he says, even if that takes 100 years. For now, the Americans are building a new UN camp, not for 100 years, but certainly for a while.
The UNHCR plans their refugee camps for a period of 5 years, even if they're not needed that long.
So the United Nations is being forced to develop 2 plans. First, acknowledging that these people may be here for a very long time and getting ready for that. And second, trying to come up with some way of speaking directly to these people, of telling them that maybe it's a good idea to go back home, despite what their own leaders may be saying. On the air, a radio station run by a group of independent journalists who hope a dose of truth will help the situation.
The goal will be to replace propaganda by information, and we will try to do the best to explain exactly what is going on.
But who will they believe? The man who runs the village or the foreigners on the radio? Most seem inclined to stay put. The climate is much like home, said one. We have food, water, shelter, and safety. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Katali Refugee Camp, Zaire.
Okay, if the moon was really made out of cheese, I'd be an astronaut. Healthy Choice makes real cheese with skim milk, so it's naturally fat-free. I love their shredded cheddar. I put it on practically everything. I put it in taco salads, I put it on nachos, I put it in my famous tortilla torpedoes. Cheese is the center of my food universe. I even put cheese on my cheese. Oh, Healthy Choice cream cheese makes this killer cheesecake. Without cheese, I am nothing. With Healthy Choice, I eat what I like. Cheese.
Get creative at Red Lobster. Create your own shrimp dinner, just $9.99.
Choose any 3 kinds of shrimp you love best, or try something new. Create your own shrimp dinner, just $9.99 for a short time.
At Red Lobster.
I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. No wonder 8 out of 10 wives prefer the natural Just for Men look to gray hair.
It's like you took off 10 years.
With Just for Men hair color. And now, new Just for Men color gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out, just 5 minutes.
When I get gas, I may look like this, but I feel like this, painfully bloated.
Gas-X has the most powerful medicine to fight gas faster than antacids.
So I feel like me again.
Painful gas needs the power of Gas-X.
I'm Charles Osgood. While most of baseball is talking strike, one minor league owner strikes gold at the box office with a real show-stopping game. The story this Sunday morning.
There are reports tonight that O.J. Simpson bought what may have been a disguise weeks before the murder of his ex-wife and her friend. That's just one of a stream of new clues in the case coming from all kinds of sources. Sandra Hughes has our report.
Police and defense investigators have spent weeks searching for clues in the O.J. Simpson case, but that hasn't stopped others from jumping into the search themselves. One private investigator says he found what appears to be previously undiscovered blood on the sidewalk near Nicole Simpson's condo. The investigator says police were courteous. The defense never got back to him.
All I said is I just thought it should be looked at.
And another private investigator held a strange late-night press conference on the streets of Beverly Hills, saying he was working for a group called Friends of Nicole.
I hate to sound hokey. The whole case gave me warm fuzzies working on this side of it.
But authorities say they don't want the help.
Any party other than the police, the prosecutor, or the defense, you run the risk of someone becoming involved that really shouldn't become involved in causing a problem.
Another curious report also being investigated by police is that O.J. Simpson bought a fake beard and mustache at this costume shop a few weeks before his ex-wife and Ron Goldman were killed. What does all this mean?
There's intense public interest in the case, so every small development, every rumor is reported. In all likelihood, none of these developments are major, but they're gaining attention simply because of the interest in the case.
One thing is known for certain. Because of this case, Judge Lance Ito's courtroom is getting a facelift. It'll be equipped with computers, electronic telestrators, and other high-tech gadgets that will let the jury and a worldwide television audience see every development, major or minor, for themselves. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Labor Secretary and Red Sox fan Robert Reich plans to attend tomorrow's doubleheader with the Cleveland Indians. He says he wants to hear what the fans have to say about Friday's baseball strike deadline. Anthony Mason has more on that.
Runners go. Valentin drives this one out to left center field.
Take one last look, baseball fans. Even the players are already making other plans for next weekend.
Here's the throw to the plate. He's safe.
I know we're going on a strike in a couple days. I'm going home and do some fishing.
In the clubhouses, they're stockpiling moving boxes as fans confront the meaning of the word strike.
They don't play it the rest of the season?
No.
Yeah. I don't want that to happen.
There's the throw to third, and he is out!
Across the country, fans have pleaded with the players and with the owners. In Texas this week, some fans staged their own symbolic strike and walked out.
Heeding the admonitions of a local radio station.
But the owners are adamant.
Baseball is headed towards disaster financially.
And the players are firm.
He will run it down.
We got to do what we got to do.
The owners want a salary cap. The players don't. Negotiations won't resume here in New York until Monday. And sports writers see little hope in this battle between billionaires and millionaires.
Henry Kissinger had a great line once. He said, the only problem with all of this with this war is that both sides can't lose. He was talking about Iran and Iraq, but he might as well have been talking about the baseball players and the baseball owners.
And he hits it hard, up the middle.
What a shame for the game.
This has been a fabulous year. There are guys that have opportunities to break records that have been there for 40 years.
Maris swings, and there goes, fans.
The ghost of Roger Maris and his record 61 home runs has been conjured up by San Francisco's Matt Williams, who's on a pace to pass Maris. But all quests could end Friday.
It is gone!
No more home runs, no more stolen bases.
We're the people that are being robbed.
From here, it appears, the only place the players will be going is home. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
The governor of Alabama is appealing for calm following an early morning fire at the Randolph County High School that investigators believe was arson. The white principal of the school attracted nationwide attention last winter when he threatened to cancel the prom if mixed-race couples tried to attend.
You should try Citracel. Citracel is different. All other powdered bulk fibers contain psyllium, a fiber source that ferments in your system and may initially cause gas and bloating. Citracel contains a unique fiber that's every bit as effective, but doesn't ferment, doesn't produce excess gas. If you've had problems with excess gas when you take a bulk fiber therapy, you should try Citracel. Citracel. Effective relief without the gas.
I feel so light, I could float away. Is it Stefan? Or I can't believe it's not Butter Light. It does have half the calories of butter, no cholesterol, and great taste. It must be. I can't believe it's not Butter Light. I don't know anyone named Stefan.
It's a great time to be silver because you're over 50 and you haven't lost your edge. Now there's a Centrum made just for you. Centrum Silver for your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver. It's a great time to be silver.
New? What's new about Nutri-Grain?
Taste. We got taste. We got a whole new taste. Lots of taste.
We got big fat raisins.
Crunchy almonds, lightly sweetened taste. Taste. Great taste. Yes, it's rare and all over our face. Once we were bland and low, but now we're low and low. 'Cause Nutri-Grain has no.
Oh, it's got new Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal.
President Clinton's dilemmas, the fight over national health care and the fallout from Whitewater. House Speaker Tom Foley and Senator Phil Gramm face the nation Sunday.
The 10th International AIDS Conference starts tomorrow in Yokohama, Japan. It is the first time the conference has ever been held in Asia, the part of the world where the disease is now spreading the fastest. Bruce Dunning.
Just as much of southern Asia is beginning to work its way out of poverty, a silent, slow-acting killer threatens to undermine that economic success. AIDS is suddenly taking hold in Asia.
In the past year, there has been an 8-fold increase in AIDS cases in Asia. But AIDS is spreading in Asia now faster than any other parts of the world.
And by the end of the decade, Asia is expected to have almost 1/3 of the world's AIDS cases. In India, as many as 1 million people may already be infected with HIV, the virus that leads to AIDS. And this disease strikes people in their most productive years, when they are earning money to support children and elderly parents.
If you are going to lose so many potential breadwinners, then I think one has to think about the greater poverty that is going to result.
Poverty, the last thing Asia needs more of. Poverty breeds the most effective way for spreading AIDS, prostitution. Most experts agree that commercial sex workers are the main reason the infection spreads in India and also in Thailand, another Asian country where AIDS is now a fact of life. Sex tourism is a major factor in the economy, and young women from the impoverished countryside flock to the big city brothels. It's the eventual cost of caring for the sick, the cost of trying to stem the spread of the virus, and the cost in lost workers that so frightens economists.
We see it, a phrase I used recently, as the enemy of the Asian promise.
Asia, home to the world's fastest growing economies, is now home to the fastest spread of AIDS. Bruce Dunning, CBS News, Tokyo.
And here's the news I'm sure you've been waiting for. The Jackson newlyweds made more fans today in Hungary. Pop star Michael Jackson and his new wife, Lisa Marie Presley, visited hospitals in Budapest to give out toys to sick children. Jackson is in Hungary to tape a music video.
The winds of change are blowing away old ideas and bringing the all-new Ford Windstar. A totally new minivan. Windstar's innovative design moved the wheels out, stretching the wheelbase, creating the most passenger and cargo room of all leading minivans. And with a quieter interior, Windstar takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
How can something non-alcoholic taste this good, huh?
Funny you should ask, Jim. Old Milwaukee starts with fully fermented beer and uses this Centrotherm with its unique rotating evaporator system to carefully remove the alcohol.
So, full-bodied beer flavor is never compromised?
Exactly, that's the beauty of the Centrotherm.
For a non-alcoholic brew that tastes like beer, it doesn't get any better than this.
Who said that?
That's it.
One thing I always felt was important for dogs to have in their diet was real meat protein.
Pam Lefevre, top breeder of champion English setters, talks about new pedigree mealtime with Harvest Select rice and vegetables.
When you look at the dog food and you see the meaty kibbles, the fact that there's meat in that dog food makes me happy. But now in this new mealtime, there's rice and peas and carrots too. It's a really balanced dog food. My dogs love this combination. When it comes to nutrition, nothing beats pedigree.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
The traveling circus, pitching a big top in a different small town every day. It used to be a feature of summertime in America. It's a rare sight these days, though. But one family still carries on the tradition. And Jacqueline Adams has a report.
School is out. Summer has officially arrived. It's another hot, lazy afternoon in tiny Mill Hall, Pennsylvania. But today, there's an invitation to excitement. One of the few circuses that still play the nation's small towns has taken over the town ball field.
What's his $1.
My husband always wanted a circus. You just don't go out and buy a circus. We had to start from scratch.
Doris Earle and her late husband Robert started the Roberts Brothers Circus 20 years ago. It's still very much a family affair. More than half of the show's 15 performers are related.
I married into it. I married a perfectly normal person working at a grocery store who happened to have a family who owned a circus.
Shirley Earle is part-time cook, bookkeeper, aerialist, and flame balancer.
All right, good.
Like many kids, Bill Shriver used to dream of running away to the circus. A decade ago, he and his family did just that, giving up the security of a job with the IRS.
It's a way of life because, you know, a lot of people have the idea that the circus is pretty girls and cotton candy and prancing ponies. The circus is a lot of hard work.
I have about 5 minutes worth of glamour when I'm in the ring, but the rest of it is just a, you know, daily job. It has to be done. Come on.
The circus awakes at 5 a.m. Every day brings a 50-mile drive and a new town. Every day, it takes 3.5 hours to pitch the 170-foot big top.
Thank you. Enjoy the show now.
And every night at 5:30, the first performance begins. Tonight's show is a straw house, a sellout.
I love to perform, and what goes through my mind is how much fun I'm having and how to relate that to my audience.
This is family entertainment that's close enough to touch.
God bless you all, folks, and thanks for coming.
The stagehands are already thinking about the next day, the next town. By 5:14 the next morning, the ball field is empty. The circus caravan is on its way again. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, New York.
And that's the news. Tomorrow on Sunday Morning with Charles Osgood, the musical group The Four Freshmen, still popular after more than 40 years. Then on Face the Nation, health care in Whitewater, we'll talk to House Speaker Tom Foley and Republican Senator Phil Gramm of Texas. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News in New York. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
With an eye on sports, James Buddy McGirt battles Patrick Coleman and the fastest feet on earth. Tomorrow on CBS.
This is CBS.